What's up, everyone? Welcome to Test Your Might, the weekly video game debate show. Join Joe, Cicero, Justin, and myself, Mike, along with some special guests as we debate all things video games. If you would like to support us, please share, subscribe, and leave a review. Now, enjoy the show. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Test Your Might, our weekly video game debate show, the only video game debate show. I'm calling it. I do it every time. This week, again, we hold the debate because it is our award show, The Mighties, and I have a wonderful panel of hosts with me to discuss our favorite games of the year. And so, first and foremost, we got the Mafia Lord himself. He asks you a question. What is that question?
Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is it a question?
Wait, there's a question.
Is it a question? I just had to say it in the form of a question because it's not really a question. It's more of like a command.
Yeah, it's a statement.
It's a suggestion.
All right. Well, sure. Next,
I consider it a statement.
Next, we have Justin. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing awesome. I can't wait to give out my favorite games of the year. I had a lot of them. And I hope you listeners are ready.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. And then we had to bring him back because he was on our first annual Mighties. We have Sean Rugg. How you doing today, Sean?
Hi, I'm great. I'm really happy that you kept your end of the deal, where I throw some of the fights throughout the year in order to guarantee my place on this Game of the Year pod. Really honorable of you. So.
Yeah, of course.
Sean, the infamous Sean Rugg, the Sean Rugg of why is the Outer Wilds the GOAT blind fight fame.
Still can't believe you just did that.
Yes.
Welcome.
Oh,
Yes, well, why don't you tell us who you thought won that debate? Did you get to listen to that debate?
I did, but I blacked out.
Okay, that's fair.
But I had, I'm taking happy tears. I remember laughing before I blacked out, so I'm assuming it was good.
Oh, man. Listeners, if you do not know what we are talking about, definitely take a look at last week's episode. It was the funniest blind fight quick attack that I've ever had the pleasure of listening to. So all thanks to Sean. He came up with the question, so it was extremely hilarious. So all right. Sean. Speaking of that, that's last week's episode, so go ahead and check that out, as well as this coming Wednesday, which will be the 22nd, which will be the day after that you are listening to this episode. We have an episode review on The Matrix for our 90s first show in honor of the new Matrix Resurrections coming out, and then we will have a 90s Now review of The Matrix Resurrections coming out probably a couple weeks after that, so stay tuned for that episode as well. But with that being said, this is our last episode of the year, besides the Matrix one. So this is our last Test Your Might of the year. So we will see you in January. Just want to let you know that we wish you guys a very happy holidays, and we're going to be taking 2 weeks with our families, and we'll get back to you in January. And me and Cicero have been talking. I think we got some good stuff cooking for very early on in the year. Potential high-profile guest for our very first episode back in 2022. So stay tuned for that. Cicero he's got the hookups, so he's figuring it out. He's typing away.
I know a
messages.
guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy. Let's see.
Yeah. We're figuring some stuff out. So we're gonna potentially have a really good host, guest host for our first episode back in 2022. So with that being said, we're going to get into the awards. You guys, let me talk really quickly about our, kind of the only stipulations that we have for these awards. First, everybody is choosing their winner for each of our categories that we're discussing today, as well as we are not bound by 2021. So if our game of the year happened to release in 2020 or something like that, and we happen to play it during this year, that could be our game of the year, where we're not holding us hostage in 2021, so to speak. So those are really the only things that we got. So Yeah, we're gonna get into some specific topics here, specific genres, because I know that Justin wanted to mention a couple based on specific genres, and then we'll get into our main awards. So, Justin, why don't you start us off? You said you wanted to talk about your best RPG. Why don't you start us off with that?
My best RPG of this year. Gosh, I've played a lot of RPGs, and there are a lot of mixed genre RPGs that I've played as well. Far Cry 6 got RPG-esque elements, but it's also got action, adventure, and first-person shooting. So it's a mix of genres, and when I played through that story and I played through it, it captivated me, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. And I'm surprised it wasn't announced on the awards, the actual game awards. But we will announce it here in saying that would be the best RPG that I played of this year.
Okay. Anybody else got an RPG to shout out since we're in this category?
I'm sure I played an RPG this year that you know what? So my favorite RPG this year was MLB The Show.
Okay.
Right? I play Road to the Show, right? And Road to the Show is nothing but an RPG where you get to create a character, and that character starts out as being not so great, and you continue to work with that character and do things, and the better you are at the things that you do, the better that your character becomes in those particular proficiencies until you become one of the greatest in the thing that you do, which happens to be in MLB The Show, play baseball. And my particular character is playing as he's playing as a pitcher, a starter pitcher. And he has won the Cy Young Award. He won the Cy Young Award in his first full season. We're doing pretty well.
There you go.
That's what counts.
I love MLB The Show. Like I didn't play it enough, I would say, of this year. So, Sean, got a special RPG just to shout out here?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm getting out technicality'd with that MLB shout out, but I'm gonna go with a very unquestionably RPG, Wildermyth.
There you go.
It is a small game where you just like have a party of heroes with a bunch of different like types of campaigns, not types of campaigns, but like campaign stories you can do, and the whole thing is like you can have legacy characters where like if you went through a story with people, you'll get like various like characters that you get to like customize in like really cool ways, and then you can elect to be like, hey, next time I want to recruit someone in this next story that happens, I can have this like person who then becomes kind of like an archetypical person, you know. Like you can have like your own like King Arthur type or whatever, you know, or like Merlin type, you know.
Okay, very cool. I been hearing nothing but good things about Wildermyth, and that's one that I wanted to check out. So is that only Steam? I'm pretty sure, right?
I think it's only PC.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Wildermyth there. And then Justin, you also wanted to talk about an open world. Just what's your favorite open world from this year? I didn't play an RPG this year, so I will skip myself there.
This game did not come out this year, but I played through it all the way this year. And like Mike said, we're not bound by the release date. Breath of the Wild. I was able to go all the way through and finish, not 100% or go for everything like Jelly, shout out, is doing, but I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed it all the way to the end, even with the breakable objects and weapons.
Breath of the Wild, I heard of this game.
Yeah.
Nice Zelda game on Steam.
Yeah.
It's on Steam.
Everything's on Steam nowadays, right? No, it's on Switch for sure. I was reading Steam for Wildermyth.
Wildermyth, yeah.
Wildermyth, yeah.
Cool. Cicero, do you have an open world that you wanted to shout out?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess this is an open world game. This was one of my favorite games of the year. It came out earlier in the year, and just a hint for most people that are listening. Spoiler alert: many of the games that I'll talk about this year, being on my list, are games that I was able to play via Game Pass. So. Again, you know, we definitely highlight, extol the virtues of Game Pass on this show, but I'm going to go ahead and do so yet again by saying that many of the games that I played this year, many of the best experiences that I had this year, I was able to achieve them via this subscription service that is Xbox Game Pass. Whether it be on one of my Xbox consoles or on PC or via the browser. And this particular game is a cyberpunk game, but it was a multiplayer game, and it was phenomenal. And not Cyberpunk 2077, but The Ascent. That was really my favorite open world game. It was super cool, and it was really interesting to see how they were able to make environments that both look similar and distinct at the same time, and very, very much lived in, even though you're playing a top-down isometric game.
That was the twin stick shooter. That was best played 4 players.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Game Pass, if you'd like to sponsor a podcast, you know, I know. And Sean, I know you're not. I don't think you dabble too much in open worlds, but did you get any? Do you have any?
I think I played only one. It was pretty good though. Bloodborne. Played that for the first time. Love that.
Okay, there you go.
I've heard nothing but good stuff.
All right, Bloodborne. Open world. I didn't play. Played a bunch of Batman Arkham Knight this year, but I'm gonna say Halo Infinite. It's like the campaign so far has been very good. Just being able to traverse that open world with the grapple has been amazing. So I'm loving my time with Halo Infinite so far. I'm not done with it, but good open world. Really, really fun. So, all right. So we are getting out of the genre specific, and we're going to get to our main 5 awards. So we got the best soundtrack to start us off. Then we'll have the best older game you played. So a game that is not from this year. Best multiplayer game. And then each of us will be making up an award. So just a random award that we had made up. And then finally, we'll round it off with our game of the year. And so, not to be outdone by anybody, Jelly's going to go first, and his game of the year is Apex. Big shocker.
Hey, Halo's taking a run, making a run for his money right now.
Yeah.
He said he's been splitting his time evenly, or almost.
So anyway, Jelly, we miss you on this episode. We're going to have all 5 of us here, but all good, buddy. So anyway, we're going to start off with best soundtrack, and I'm going to go soundtrack aficionado first. Sean.
It's a downer way to start. This was hard for me. I played a ton of games this year, but especially in comparison to last year, like nothing stuck with me in a way that like I remembered it being really good today. I ended up going with Wildermyth, because it is kind of just like a pretty basic one. It's kind of inoffensive, but it adds, like, it's good with the feel, with the rest of the aesthetics of the game, and it works in, it, like, sets a really good, like, usually melancholy tone, but, like, lets you good background noise while you're making, like, reading a lot, because that's what a lot of what the game is. Yeah, I'm going with Wildermyth. I didn't play a lot of like the big soundtrack games, so I missed out.
No worries. You don't miss out, man. Like
I feel like I missed out on Sable. I feel like I missed out on Sable.
Sable has a really good soundtrack. I played the demo on it, and I was definitely loving a bunch of the music that was playing. But man, it's all about what hits you. It's all about what hits you with the soundtrack. Yeah. All right, Cicero, we're going your way next. Best soundtrack of 2021.
This one may be cheating quite a bit because it's not original music. Okay. But once I say it, it's not going to be a surprise. I don't even think I really need to describe it. But Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Knew it.
So narrative and soundtrack, huh?
Yeah. There actually is some original music in that soundtrack. They have a hairband that they created directly for the game from a band called Star-Lord, and the game opens with you having the opportunity to listen to the entire album while reading the lyrics from the cassette that has the the lyrics in it, and so that's super cool. But the soundtrack's amazing.
I have heard that it is very good on the level of the first movie at least.
Yes.
Incredibly good soundtrack. So, Justin, your favorite soundtrack of this year?
Probably going to steal yours, but I'm going with Death's Door. Phenomenal soundtrack. The music changes based on if you're in combat or not, and the transition is flawless. I've caught myself just pausing, and the music continues through the pause menu, and you just listen. And it is magical, the amount of music and the sounds of the different environments when you go through. Death's Door, great game if you haven't played it. Incredibly mechanical, and you have to learn elements of fight battles and learn where and when to strike, but it's worth the ride.
Sean, you do not like the Death's Door soundtrack.
It's fine. I just have a beef against it because I think it's fine. I think again, nothing really hit me this year, so among this year it was in my top 3. I just had beef that it was getting put as an all-timer. Right. Which is making me which maybe if I didn't have that, I'd put it as my top 1,
Yeah. Okay.
My backup was Cuphead.
So you're saying if it wasn't in the popular zeitgeist, it might be your top 1.
No.
No, okay.
I'm saying if it didn't try to compete with Umurangi Generation 5 months ago, I'd feel better about it.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. Justin, you did not steal mine. And the reason being is because a little game called Halo Infinite just came out, and starting up that campaign, I don't know. I think maybe Cicero, have you started the campaign at all?
I have not. I
know Justin has. Sean, it's not even downloaded, correct? Okay.
No,
yeah. But when you start the campaign, the music in just the cutscene that starts the game, it just it fits. It fits so perfectly. And Halo Infinite's soundtrack is the best iteration of the Halo soundtrack since Halo 2, in my opinion. It is that, Halo 2 has that really hard rock sound to it, and Halo Infinite has just this blend of the original from Combat Evolved, where it's less rock and a little bit more orchestral, but adds the element of some really deep drums and some really, really good bass to it. And I fell asleep to the soundtrack last night. I was just listening to my headphones. Shout out to Cicero. You know what headphones I used. And yeah, man, it's a phenomenal soundtrack. The what they did with, the themes of Halo, it's just crazy. the subtle nuances that they created within an already really great established soundtrack and piece of music. So yeah, going with Halo Infinite. All right, best older game you played. So a game that is outside of 2021. So Cicero, we're going your way first. Did you play any that are outside of 2021?
I mean, I'm sure I did. I mean, I can go with the old standby. The old standby, of course, is good old faithful Elite Dangerous.
The old flame.
But man, I'm trying to think of what else that I may have played this year that I was best game that I played, best older game that I played this year was Hades.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you know, because Hades is amazing, and I didn't really play it until it came to Game Pass.
Okay, there you go. Yes, Justin, you really got into Hades. Is that your best older game you played?
No, it's not, unfortunately, but I did dive head first into that game when it came to Game Pass as well, and enjoyed going through the different keep going through different difficulties. My favorite game that I played of old genre is Rocksmith. It came out in 2014, and just a music game. You use a real guitar and play guitar. I learn chords and learn how to play the songs, and then like Guitar Hero, when you get so good, the things just disappear and you play without. So it teaches you, and I've been playing it since it came out, and I've been really enjoying it lately.
Yeah, and listeners, he's actually good at it. I've seen him play it, so he could do it. He could do the thing. All right, Sean, I'm going next. So this, sorry, I just had to let you know. I'm going around the circle here on my Discord. So,
I know, I see.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So this category was stacked for me, actually, because I played a lot of older games. So it is between, and you guys can call me out if you don't agree with this, but it was between Psychonauts, the original, Slay the Spire, or Mass Effect, which I did play in the Legendary Edition. So does that count?
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a remastered version of an original game, sure.
Exactly. It's like if I were to say Vice City remastered, it's the same thing.
Okay. So then, I will have to probably choose Mass Effect because.
Oh, I don't think it counts then. Redo.
I thought Mike was going to go with Psycho.
I love Psychonauts. I have an honorable mention later that's based on Psychonauts. So stay tuned. But Mass Effect it's one of the best and greatest sci-fi stories that I've ever experienced. And so for me to experience it this year, and yeah, it's a 2007 game, but this was remastered with some definite bringing it forward mechanics and stuff like that. I have to go with Mass Effect. Slay the Spire, I believe, is a very close second. I remember back in April or March or whenever I was playing it, just like texting Sean like my run, it was terrible. My run was terrible, and then I remember texting him when I won, and I hope you remember that too, because it was a joyous occasion. Because it took me a while. Anyway, Sean, the best older game you played this year?
Yeah, I played the best Dragon Age game again, Dragon Age 2. No comments.
Right.
No further questions.
Yeah.
Why is it the best Dragon Age? I'm answering.
Why is it the GOAT? Is the real question.
Yes. Why is it the
GOAT? Because it eats grass.
Oh, there you go. That should have been the answer.
I wish we would have came up with that, Cicero.
Yeah, that should have been the answer.
Oh my goodness! Again,
Clearly.
Listeners, last week's episode.
Right.
Check it out. All right, so that's been the best older game you played. We are going through best multiplayer game now. And so, Justin, you're up.
All right. Well, I just want to say Halo Infinite. I see a running theme here. Brought back all the nostalgia of playing with friends. I've had a couple LAN parties where we actually play with new Xboxes and set up with screens like old school. Nice. And with COVID going on, it's hard to do that. But even from home, playing with Mike and Cicero or Jelly, it has been a load of fun, and it's been bringing back a lot of memories of back in the day running through those games, and the multiplayer seems like it's perfect.
I will go one step further. I think it is perfect. Like, it's so good. The fact that it came out 2 weeks early, or actually 3 weeks early, right? Came out on November 15th, like, and for it to be that polished. And the only thing that, was really bad was, the battle pass, but that's not the gameplay.
Right. Yeah.
That's not the gameplay. That's not the moment to moment feel of what Halo Infinite is. So Halo Infinite, that's my multiplayer game of the year. Sean, you're next. Another category. I know you have one staple. Is it going to be
Sean
that
plays
staple?
MMOs, doesn't he?
Oh, I do. I have one. Actually, it hurts me. I feel a little naive pitching this, given what you just said. But It Takes Two.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's multiplayer.
Okay. Which, I thought we had a better time with that than you could ever have in Halo, but no. But no, it's a game it's a game about being multiplayer, and that studio has always been really good at making that stuff interesting, and they did it again, so.
What Sean is alluding to is that he was the person that I was playing the game with, and we got to get back to that. I was thinking about that the other day. We got to beat that.
And you were alluding to Destiny, which notably, despite being my most played game, is winning no awards because it does nothing excellently. It's just okay at many things.
Yes, I was alluding to Destiny, and I was sort of leaning that you weren't gonna go with Destiny because I don't know, like maybe it's probably fun, but like you play it every single night or every other night, and it's just
I play it pretty regularly. Maybe if my friends had done more rating, but it'd be there by now.
Cicero, favorite multiplayer game that you played this year?
So I could follow up with you guys and say Halo because you're not wrong. But I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the year and say my favorite multiplayer game because it was such a surprise. Just the quality of it and the fact that it just seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere. Is Outriders.
Okay.
And, Outriders was able to pull some of that Destiny magic together. Getting a group of friends together to play a game, figure out strats to create the right builds and getting the rolls for the weapons and doing all of those things with your friends while you're talking about how much you enjoy the game and how the game could be improved versus what your strat should be for the particular characters that you have and what whether or not you're going to roll a different one and how those things work. I had a lot of fun with that game, and I revisited it not too long ago. And it's improved even. So really? If you can get a group of people to get together to play the game, it's still a lot of fun.
Did you try out that DLC?
That's what I was talking about, the new DLC. Okay, cool. I went in to look at it, but I mean, try it is a strong word.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. All right. Well, I believe Outriders is still in Game Pass, so
it is.
And since we are sponsored by Game Pass, we gotta make sure that we say that.
There you
go. All right, Justin. We're gonna go your way for. Oh, wait. No, it's me first. It's me first for this next award. Sure. So, our next award is one that we made up. So you can go wild with this, whatever you want. So. for the best, Ain't Nobody Got Time for That award goes to Outriders, and here's why. Not because I didn't play it or anything like that, but I chose this award specifically because Sean and Cicero are on the cast today, and I distinctly remember this year one of my favorite gaming moments of 2021 was when we were talking about doing side missions in Outriders, and I told them I don't got time for that, and so we're doing the main story right now. And yeah, man, that was a blast, guys. So like Outriders, yeah, when we started it had a bunch of bugs and stuff like that, but sure, man, we still had a really good time, and that's what this year was all about for me, just having some good times with friends on Xbox, you know. So yeah, shout out to Outriders. We had some good laughs there. So Sean, going your way next, what is your made up award?
Yeah, mine is the Mightiest Enigma of Amigar Fault, aka I swear to God if they make an NFT. This is, if you're not familiar with the story of Enigma of Amigar Fault, it's the one where it has the meme, "This is my hole." It's a shape just for me, and this game is nuts. Which again, no one has ever heard of, because who else is going to play Firewatch but with weird visuals and about spying on squirrels other than Sean Rugg? I hope they enjoyed the only $5 they made. It was definitely worth it. I loved it.
All right. So please, if you make an NFT of Test Your Might, you need to contact us, because
I'll just die if these people make an NFT.
No. All I am saying is that they owe us. Anyway, Cicero.
Yes.
Your one made up award.
My one made up award is the title, you guys have to bear with me, is I'm not buying, I don't have to buy Breath of the Wild anymore, because it will never go on sale. So instead I play this award, and that award goes to Death's Door. Death's Door, like, I've heard that Breath of the Wild is amazing. I know that Death's Door isn't the same as Breath of the Wild in terms of scope, right? Mm-hmm. But it is challenging. It has a really fun and intriguing story. And I wind up going to lots of different places. And if that game doesn't have, if it's not like Magnolia, the movie, where there's like 7 different false endings, I keep getting to certain points in the game and I'm like, oh, have I beat the first boss? And I'm not even at the first boss. I'm at like the assistant boss before I get, before I got to the boss. The game is challenging and is surprisingly deep, and it's very, very long, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And now I don't need Breath of the Wild, because it won't go on sale.
Yeah, that works.
The best award for not going to buy Breath of the Wild on sale goes to Death's Door. So, yeah. All right. Justin, your made-up award. Hopefully it has a shorter title.
yeah, it's pretty short. Not for the game itself, but for the title of the award. Yeah. Okay. It's the Try It, Kid. You Might Like It award. And it's Lego Star Wars The Complete Collection.
Ah, nice.
Because as soon as I showed my daughter it, she was like, I'm not playing that. Just put Minecraft on. And then we started playing together. And she
There you
likes
go.
it.
Right. There you go.
First taste is free, baby.
Yeah.
my
intro to Star Wars for her,
Yeah, there you go. That's a lot of fun. I know she'll be excited for the Skywalker Saga next year, for sure.
I'm going to be excited for that.
Yeah. All right, the moment. Oh wait, I did. Here is my honorable mention for Psychonauts, the most hilarious script this year. Because Psychonauts, the original, man, that script is wild and funny and insane.
And it holds up too.
Anyway, all right, Sean, we're going your way first. This is our final award for tonight. It is our GOTY, our Game of the Year. Reminder, listeners, that we are not bound by 2021, so if it is an older game, then that is okay. So, Sean, your Game of the Year. And why, of course. I know.
It's Inscription.
It's asking a lot. Inscription, okay.
Inscription. It is one, it's a roguelike deck builder, so it's going to be top of my charts if it's any good. But this one, it has a lot more to offer than that. It has some great vibes. You are doing more, even just from the beginning, you're doing more than just doing the roguelike deck building. You're trapped in a spooky cabin. You got to figure out what is up with this. Why is this scary man putting on like wood carving masks and trying to be my GM? And from there, spoiler reasons, I don't go further than that. But it's got good puzzling. It's got a great just sense of atmosphere, and it does the thing that a lot of great deck builders do, which, you have good constraints, but at a certain point, it lets you just get wild, and you're allowed to make very OP cards and builds. So you're allowed to feel like a powerhouse while still being... It's still fun to do that, and you're still, playing a game. You're not just, wiping the floor with anybody, and it gets boring at that point. It never reaches that point. And it's got a bunch of surprises that you should not look at before you play it, but you should play it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but Inscription was a recent play of yours, right? Because I do remember having conversations about your favorite game of the year being the nuts one with the squirrels.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out end of October. And yeah, I've got to think beyond just my personal taste. And I had to think of ways to shout out the good games of the year. So
there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Inscription is making a lot of people's top 10s in the industry, so it's certainly something that definitely check out if you have the means to. So yeah. All right. Inscription for Sean. Cicero, your game of the year.
This should shock not a lot of people. But my game of the year is, well, you know what? You got to dive deep into the mind of a Cicero Holmes to kind of understand how you get to Cicero Holmes' Game of the Year shortlist. So this particular game hit the shortlist because it does something that one of my favorite games of the past decade did incredibly well. And that is, it took something I knew and allowed me to immerse myself in the thing that I thought I knew, and it gave me more ways to interact with that thing that I knew in ways that I didn't know I wanted, but now can't live without, and I need to continue to do it more often. And I want the people in my circles that can hear my voice, that are influenced by my suggestions, to also take advantage of this thing that I really enjoy, because I think they too will enjoy it. And that is why for 2021, my game of the year is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. This game is fantastic, but not only just like the other game that I was referencing, which was Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man, this game is accessible. And while it doesn't make you feel like Spider-Man in the same way that Spider-Man made you feel like Spider-Man, or the Rocksteady games made you feel like Batman, you do get an appreciation for the Guardians, and it makes the way you interact with them makes a lot of sense. But the game is fun for people that are fans of those characters, and it allows you to, it's not bite-sized because it's still a pretty lengthy game, but you can get to the end, right? Getting to the end is achievable. Being able to experience that story is achievable. And that's something that really appeals to me, because I don't like, for when I'm recommending a game to other people that are not necessarily hardcore gamers, they're, maybe I won't necessarily call them casual gamers, but people that don't necessarily play a lot of games. This is a game that's not going to be incredibly punishing. It's going to allow you to play through the game, enjoy the story, and finish the story. That part is very important to me. And this is a game much like Marvel's Spider-Man. This game, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, allows you to do those things, and it's done incredibly well. The soundtrack, as I've already said, is incredible, and it is it's, to me, one of the most beautiful games that released this year. And this is a year with Halo and with Forza Horizon 5, which are impeccably beautiful games. And games like whatever the
Nuts.
crap, old man moment. Yeah, nuts.
Nuts.
Right. the PlayStation roguelike from the beginning of the year, Returnal, yeah. Which looked incredible, and Ratchet and Clank look incredible, but Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy looks superb. So yeah, please everybody go play that game.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy, that's some high praise there. So definitely take a look. That's definitely been on my radar. So gonna be playing it sometime soon. So Justin, yeah, who knows? Your game of the year, my friend.
So, as I stated earlier, I played a lot of games that after done or completing them, I said, this could be my game of the year. There was a lot of great hits from this year that I played that released this year too. And I'm going to go back to the first one I set it to, which was Resident Evil Village. I speedrunned it. I enjoyed every moment. I think my fastest time was 2 hours and 3 minutes for the entire story, and that's nothing compared to what speedrunners do. I enjoyed every second of the game. The story was great. Replayability was great. And I enjoyed all of the story that kind of tied into the last game. And a lot of people said it's a lot of the same, but it was the atmosphere that gets you. And it was the story and the characters that really hit you hard. And if you enjoy narrative along with scary games, I know Cicero no, but if you enjoy them, then it's good.
Resident Evil Village. Yeah, I remember you sending me like screenshots of your times, because I think you beat it like 8 to 10 times or something like that. Just a crazy
11.
amount.
Yeah, I think 11? It was 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just insane. So, all right. My game of the year. So, it was between two, and I certainly ended up going this one route because it's such a quirky, fun, charming. And you're just this little crow, and you are running around with a sword in hand, and you're reaping souls. And my game of the year is Death's Door.
What is that?
It's a game. Absolutely, you should buy it. People will play it, Right, so, right. I loved Death's Door. There are not many games that like just completely take away my time or like my thought. And this year there's been 3 of them, and that is the original Mass Effect, Death's Door and Halo Infinite. I've only been thinking about Halo Infinite. And when I was playing Death's Door, I was only thinking about Death's Door. I was like, I gotta go try to find these to upgrade, my magic or upgrade my health and stuff like that. And the worlds that you get to consume by just playing this game, like you got some really, really cool, distinct environments, such as the forest, or as you have like a mansion where the witch grandma is. Her name's Grandma. She's you just have some incredible bosses. You start with the witch, you go to the Frog King. The Frog King is just like this guy, man, just like so pompous and arrogant, but he's just so funny too. and then you end up with Betty. Justin, I don't think you've beaten Betty yet. And
nope.
Yeah, Betty I beat on my second try, and it was just easy to kind of. The one thing that really got me was, I don't get into games too much where like I try to learn their patterns and stuff like that, and this one I actually did. And I remember talking to Sean earlier this year about the Tunic demo and how like I just was not patient at all with Tunic. I would just go hacking and slashing, and you just can't do that. And you also can't do that in Death's Door. You have to be a little bit more methodical. I think it's definitely a little bit more forgiving than that Tunic demo, but still, just. Man, I just love the whole thing. I love the story. The Lord of Doors is keeping death from actually reaping souls, and so these crows have to do it now. It's just a wild story, a wild game. But also, as Justin alluded to earlier, the mechanics are very tight. The gameplay is phenomenal, and then I really enjoyed the soundtrack as well. So. An all-encompassing game that just took my heart, and also playing it on the Series X, it was my first 120 FPS game. Like, and so I go back to 30 FPS games and 60 FPS games, and I can actually tell the difference, which is kind of crazy. It's my first experience with that. So
yeah, I think Death's Door. I came up that time, you watched me fight Betty maybe like 25 times. And just dying over and over and over.
No, you know what? You know what's so funny? I watched you. No, I think you only tried it twice, and then you handed me the controller, and then you were watching me play, and you were like, "How'd you get farther than me?" And I've been trying this like 25, 30 times, and I did. It was my first try. I got further than him, and so
I have a suggestion.
Yeah,
on how
go
to
ahead.
beat Betty if you haven't already. The thing that worked for me was take off the umbrella and switch to a real weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because I wanted to make the game impossible.
So you tried beating Betty with an umbrella first?
I tried to do the entire thing with an umbrella.
Yeah, that's an
awesome.
achievement.
Yeah.
Really?
That's an achievement. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No thanks.
That's cool. That's funny. Another hint, I don't want to say another real hint or anything like that, but another hint is that definitely explore the world and try to find the upgrades for your magic before you go to some of those later bosses. So anyway, Death's Door, my game of the year. That's it for our awards. So Justin had Resident Evil for his GOTY, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy for Cicero, and Inscription for Sean. Mine was Death's Door. Gentlemen, I got a surprise for you here. I didn't tell you that we were doing something else. And so I'm going to send you guys a link in our Discord there. We're actually going to take a look into 2022 and just kind of talk about 1 to 3 games, whatever you want to mention, some games that you're looking forward to. So go ahead and pull that link up. This is Game Informer's release calendar. So just like kind of scroll through that a little bit, or just, off the top of the dome that you guys know of some games that you're excited for. And since I kind of sprung this up on you guys, I think I will start so that you guys have a chance to maybe look over the list. But starting off with January for me, it's actually pretty strong with Pokemon Legends Arceus. So I'm actually really looking forward to kind of like an open world Pokemon aspect here. So I'm really looking forward to just like seeing what Game Freak can do with like just changing the formula of Pokemon. So any of you kind of interested in Pokemon Arceus? I know Cicero,
me.
You barely touch your Switch, but
I have no idea where my Switch is right now. If somebody can find my Switch, that'd be great. I have no idea where it is.
I've got 3 to highlight from my end. Number 1, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, a Borderlands knockoff game.
Yes.
It's set in like a D&D setting, which I love.
Yes.
It's going to be great. Then I know this one, Cicero and myself are so excited for. We cannot wait until May to get our hands on Forspoken.
Unbelievable.
You need to get your hands on PS5 first.
Well, it's on PC too. After that trailer during the Game Awards, we're hooked. We can't wait.
Yes.
And then the last one, obviously, the next big Bethesda release is going to be Starfield late next year, and I can't wait for that. To see a brand new IP coming from Bethesda, it's going to be great, and we're getting it day one with Game Pass. So, what more can you ask for?
Yeah. I'm excited for, I was trying to find one from each, like you said, 3 or 4, so like one from each quarter.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like 1 to 3 games, whatever you want to bring up.
You don't tell me what to do.
All right, sure.
I'm excited for Elden Ring.
So Sean, what games are you interested
in? Right. So I'm excited for Elden Ring, simply because I just want it to be out, right? Like I just want it to be out and be a thing that I can consume and ingest and critique. And I hope it's good. Yeah. But I just don't know, because the hype machine is just so all over the place with that. Another one that's coming out in February that I think people aren't really looking for, like those if you know type people, but Crossfire X, I think that's going to be a lot. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot bigger and better than people are giving it credit for potentially being.
It kind of disappeared for a while there.
Why? No, why is that?
Because Remedy is doing the campaign.
Yes.
Remedy is my favorite developer. Like, I will buy everything from them, and they're doing the campaign for Crossfire X, and it's, I think it's gonna be good. So.
Right. Well, So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited in September for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I'll be excited in November when all the patches come out and the game is actually playable. So,
you're skipping all of October? They're not going to do any patches in October?
Oh no, they're going to do some patches, but like one of the patches is going to brick people's games and consoles, and then another patch is going to fix one problem, but then you're not going to be able to drive, and then by November they'll have it all worked out.
So. What about that Dragon game you highlighted a while back? That one that was going to be announced.
Scalebound?
Is it Scalebound?
Scalebound's dead, guys. It's dead.
Gotta have faith, okay?
No. Keep it coming back.
Sean, anything that floats your boat, so to speak?
Yeah, this list just loaded for me, but it's okay. I didn't need it. What I care about is not going to be on there. I'm looking at Koromon. I am excited about Arceus. I forgot that was coming out next year, but what I'm looking for is a knockoff that I played a demo of this year, and it was doing really cool like shifts to how Pokemon works. That's supposed to be coming out beginning of next year. Really excited for that. Another one that was a demo and probably going to be too small to be on that list is Terra Nil. It's just like a mix between a puzzle solving and a city builder, where you were like building a city to like restore environments that we messed up, and then get out of there. You're like taking deserts and being like, oh yeah, this polluted desert, we're gonna make this into like a nice forest and like a bunch of different biomes to make it like ecologically sound, and then we're gonna get out of there because that's what we should be doing. And then actually this one might be on there. Let's see, Splatoon 3.
Yes, Splatoon 3 is there.
Yeah, definitely would have been Elden Ring,
coming out?
but people have already brought
Yeah,
it
the
up.
Splatoon
They
3.
say it.
Right.
And
It's
if it doesn't
announced.
make it,
Yeah.
Elden Ring's right there.
Right. It's on the list. It's on the list.
So
Another one that's on the list that I didn't see until just now, but that's Oxenfree 2. I'm
Yeah.
actually very excited about that. Oxenfree is one of my favorite games of all time.
I also have.
I really
one more
enjoy
as
that
well.
game. It's very easily digestible. It's a brilliant game. You can finish it in 5-6 hours, and is infinite replayable, and you get different things that happen after you replay it. So it's almost like a roguelike in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, an incredible game. I really love Oxenfree, so excited for the sequel.
Yeah, I've got one more that I forgot about. It's called Stray. It was announced a while back. You play as a cat with a backpack in gorgeous environments. It might be future, or
Right.
you know, the only characters other than the cat are going to be other cats and droids playing the roles of humans. So you don't see any humans, and it's really just it looks like a great adventure game with neon lit alleys and all kinds of stuff that looks dark and grimy, but you're playing as a cat, and it looks very interesting and visually appealing.
very intrigued.
So I'm gonna cheat a little bit, but they are getting next gen upgrades next year, and that is The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077. So unless they're delayed,
The
out of
original
next
Witcher?
year, which
No, that will never happen.
Witcher 3, I very well could, Cicero.
You think you're gonna have to pay for that?
I don't know if I'd bet money on that, to be honest.
Oh.
But anyway, I bought the complete editions for both of those, like when they were super on sale at like $10. And so I was actually waiting specifically to play Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3, you know, when those next gen upgrades come. So I'm looking forward to that. And then probably the one that I'm most excited for, if you guys don't know by now, I'm a huge Batman Arkham fan, and Gotham Knights is coming next year.
Yes.
And I'm really stoked for WB Montreal's take on not only the extended Bat family, but also one of my favorites, and one of my favorite comic book runs of all time, The Court of Owls. So really looking forward to that story, and the gameplay. The gameplay, you know, is there, right? Like you know that it's going to be good because it's built on the Arkham gameplay, and so I already trust that that's going to be good. Now I'm just really looking for an awesome Court of Owls story. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anything else that jump out on you guys' list here?
Well, God of War, the next
PC.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
I'm talking about
Okay.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Definitely, after playing through God of War on the PS4, enjoyed it so much, and I can't wait to continue that story. It's definitely looking good.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's Horizon Forbidden West, but you know, but what's really forbidden is your access to PlayStation 5s. So you know, if
I really thought Mike was gonna highlight Spark of Hope, the Mario Rabbids game that was announced.
Yeah, certainly. You know, I'm kind of in the same boat with Cicero. I'm not playing my Switch a lot recently. Like, just I know this is gonna sound like maybe like a snob or something, but like playing games on my Series X on my new TV that I have is the experience that I'm looking for right now. So you know, Switch is not where I'm looking at right now, but that's just me. You know,
I know a lot of things that like aren't first party. You have to worry about like performance hits.
yeah.
Like the reason I didn't make Umuranga Generation my game of everything this year again is because I didn't buy the Switch version because I was worried there was going to be performance hits.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's crazy how like you want to play your Switch on the TV, utilize its Switch function, and yet it looks
You want
better
it to
than handheld.
switch.
Yeah,
I mean, actually, I do want it to be handheld a lot because like that's a thing I'm missing is like that since my laptop screen was broken. For the past couple years. I like want something I could like lay in the couch with and like play handheld. So like that's again why I'm always looking like, hey, is this gonna actually suck when not docked? So
yeah. Anything else, guys, before we head on out for the night?
I see a
Head on out for the
Pokemon
year.
card trading card
For the
game.
year. Yeah.
we should vow to play one of the games we haven't played off each other's that like won awards from each other next year.
There you go.
That's a good call.
That's a great call.
Well, I'm going to be buying
Obviously not
Guardians
Halo.
soon.
Well, maybe if I played Halo. Yeah, Guardian's probably mine. I'm gonna like try to get to. But I'm gonna look at the list and be like,
So we talking just goaties or
just
the
anything.
other
And
ones
I mean,
too?
we don't need to say it now. I only said mine now because Justin said it. I'm just because I was thinking when I was looking back over last year, I was like, did any of us really do that? And I think Justin, he wasn't there, but he ended up playing Breath of the Wild, which was Jellies. And I realized I hadn't, and I felt kind of bad about it. I was like, I didn't take people's things in, but anyway.
I agree with that sentiment. Are all of us going to play Guardians? Because I think that's the one that I want to play.
What is Cicero going to play?
Right, I'll play Guardians again.
All right, yeah, that sounds good.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the
really,
nut game.
Really going with the premise here.
What was that?
Play the nut game.
We'll just
The nut game.
Yeah, it's like the Secret
Actually,
Santa.
you know what? I'm still going to play Guardians, but I
steal
think I'm
mine.
going to get Inscription. I think I want to get Inscription and play it.
I say don't steal mine, and then Mike just goes for it right away.
Right.
I'm like, I was about to be like, yeah, Sean, what was the
Listen, that's what he's gonna do.
I guess we're playing 2 games of this.
You mean no one wants to play Dragon Age 2? Only
Right.
Dragon Age 2 again?
I did play Dragon Age 2. It was great.
Hey, why don't you all start playing Rocksmith? How about that?
There you
Yeah,
go.
learn some life lessons while playing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play Rocksmith too, where you can just do it on your phone and stuff.
Without a guitar?
Yeah. Oh no, with the guitar.
Oh, it uses the
just
microphone.
I'll just pull up Spotify and listen to some
Right.
guitar riffs. All right. Well, listeners, you can catch us all on socials at the 90s First. And we got Cicero and Justin's links down there. Sean, I know you're not on socials. Or maybe you are. No? That hasn't changed still?
Just don't look at I'm there. Don't look at me, though.
All right, cool.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
Anyway, leave us a review. We would really appreciate it. Hit us with that 5 stars. Hit us with those 2 stars, and just show us how we can improve. Just help us out. Reviews always help. All the algorithms and stuff. And then as well as if you're watching us on YouTube, first of all, hi, thank you for watching and sticking with us. Please hit that like. Oh my goodness! Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get over to 100 subs.
If you want to know why we're laughing, you got to be tuned into YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. Hit that subscribe button, please, so we can get that custom link at the 100 subscribers. So, without further ado, this is our last episode to Test Your Might for 2021. We'll see you in 2022. For Cicero, for Justin, for Sean, my name is Mike, and we're out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You see my baseball?
Say hello to your mother for me.
Say hello to your mother for me. Say hello to Baby New Year for me. And cut.